We are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym and the Crypto, episode 1194. Today is Monday, February 19th, 2024, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10ish.
Tennish. And today's top stories: VanEck admits ETF marketing violation, agrees to SEC fine. That didn't take long. Virginia proposes $39,000 yearly fund for crypto and AI commissions. GoFundMe shuts down Tornado Cash legal defense crowdfunding. Coinbase drops native Bitcoin payments for merchants platform. And Celsius distributes $2 billion of crypto to 172,000 creditors. But first and foremost, Bitcoin Zay, what's going on with those prices?
Oh, yeah. So let's take a look at our prices for today. A lot of chatter over the weekend for a relatively small move, but basically a lot of people stacking up shorts at the 50K mark that got clapped this weekend. For those of you who are included to you, but hey, that's the market. And Bitcoin right now, it takes a little minute to load because Restream for some reason used way too much RAM. I don't know.
Right, it's been crazy lately. It's crazy.
I don't know why it only acts like
I have it pulled up on my end. Worst case.
Yeah, but all right. Bitcoin right now is at $52,139, up 6%. Up 3.5%. Binance at 351, down 0.5% today. Solana at 13 is up 1.7%. E at 55 cent is up 1.1%. And let me just say something today, people. I'll to you guys, y'all's marketing is ridiculous because I keep getting this that big event is coming XRP thing on Twitter. Y'all got some crazy marketing. Cardano at 62 cent, down 0.5%. Avalanche at 39.68, down 1.2%. And rounding out the top 10 is Dogecoin at 8 cent, up 2.8%. And let's take a look at some of our recently added coins: Netmind token, Pixels, and Ryosi Research. And some of the trending coins is Caspa, Minu, and WorldCoin, which we were going to talk about today, but kind of boring. But they're up 38% off the news that they're supposedly, or the CEO, that's also the CEO of ChatGPT, is raising $7 trillion. So yeah, off that, some people, I've seen crypto. So off of that, I think that's probably
bro, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to suppress it. I had that rant in me, but I'm just like shaking my head. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. All right. That's crazy.
I gave up on humanity after COVID. I don't expect people to not give their iris and give their eye scan. It is what it is, man.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, I think that's about time I gave up on humanity officially between COVID and the last few presidential elections. And here's why. People keep voting for people that they're pissed off at after they vote. And it's just like, look in the fucking mirror. Stop voting. You're the problem, the person in the mirror. You can't tell the lie from the truth. You don't know geopolitics. You don't know about money markets. You don't know about the economy. You shouldn't be voting for a federal president, period. You should vote local and state at most, okay? So, yeah, don't get me started.
Man. We need voting tests for national elections.
Yeah, bring back
voting
the voting
test for national elections.
Listen, you literally got half the population saying, oh my God, I can't believe I voted for Trump. And you got the other half of the population saying, oh my God, I can't believe I voted for Biden. All of you who can't believe, please jump. You don't know. And the worst part, the lack of self-awareness, not only do these people, like, they come out and like, yeah, man, this guy totally tricked me. It's like, no, they didn't trick you. You tricked yourself. You need to stop voting and educate yourself, or just go high. Like, everyone doesn't need a voice. I'm gonna say it. Yeah, bring dictators back. Yeah. Make dictators strong again. All right. At this point, everybody listen. A great dictator would do a lot better than a bunch of dummies voting on dumb shit together. Okay, I was like, just one great person would do better than all that. All right. Anyway, top stories of the day. What's going on?
Hey, King, real quick. So you think we need a Bukele? We need a naive Bukele to come in, sweep out all the crime, and then increase the GDP of everybody in like 4 years. Bukele,
hey,
2024.
Let's get it. All right, real quick, what's going on? Patrick Walter, Wisdom Bars, Marcellus Love. Keep thanking God. Crypto Work, I like the name. Holloway Fam Bam, Chloe Dior. If you know, you know. JB Hyben, Antonio. Hey, shout out to Antonio from the UK, even though it's Antonio from Bali these days. Listen, you see the weather behind me. It's It's stormy again. It's crazy. Hey, Zay, I'm actually about to email the city today. Email, mail, right, whatever. Okay, I do get the issues with the driving. The potholes are everywhere. The rain fills them up quickly. And you're going like 30, 35 miles per hour, you would tear your car up, which I recently just did. Literally going like 35 miles per hour on a main street and just ripped the tire up because it was filled with water. Of course, I got it fixed the next day. I have the receipt right here in front of me because after the show, I'm texting the city or email where I'm doing the process. I want my money back. I'm not getting taxed twice. I think I might have said this on the show live, but I'm serious about this. All right.
King Karen, let's get it. King
Yes,
Karen.
sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I want my 176 back.
I'm calling the authorities.
All right, real. If you don't fill them potholes, give me my money back. We're not doing a double tax after we like. Are you crazy? All these taxes, and then I'm getting potholes. My tires getting ripped apart in the rain from a pothole. I don't care the price. It could have been $35. I want it back. I'm gonna get it back Tuesday. I'm getting it back. All right. Top story of the day, people. This was my I want to be clear. You all think the rants and raves are for nothing and that we're anti-regulators and anti-government. Come on, I was in the military, folks. That makes 0 sense. I am anti failing upwards, essentially, and that's what's going on today. Our regulators said, hey, crypto's this big, bad, ugly, scary monster in the closet or under the bed, even though the market cap is super small compared to everything else. And we're going to go not only regulate, but over-regulate it. I pushed back and said, hey, the problem with these regulators regulating our market is that they cannot regulate their own market. They don't and cannot regulate traditional banks, traditional banking, Wall Street, as big as members, Chase, Wells Fargo, so on and so forth. They get fined all the time for breaking the law and no one goes to jail. Yet these same people who regulate that market say we can come over to crypto and a modernized technology, things we don't understand, but we can come over here and regulate it. And blah, blah, blah. And you all should give us your tax. Like literally, we had a guy from Hex come on last week say, hey, you got to pay crypto taxes. And he didn't let me finish. He was like Richard Hart. He kept cutting me off. But as I was trying to tell him, it was illegal for black people to sit in the front of the bus at one point. I don't mean people weren't doing it. So just because it's a law and you're saying you have to, I am going to push back against it because what are you doing to protect the market? And as we can see here, nothing. Literally, Bitcoin ETFs have been out less than a month and already they're getting fined. That's right. VanEck admits ETF marketing violation, agrees to SEC fine. Of course, you're going to agree to it. Why wouldn't you? Listen, Zay, if I can tell you, hey, you'll be able to have really, let's not even call it a fine. Let's call it a price of doing business. They said Kanye West has paid $7 million for a Super Bowl commercial. And whether the numbers are right or not, they're saying the volume and capital he's made from that commercial surpassed the $7 million he spent. So essentially, he spent $7 million on a marketing fee for a commercial for Super Bowl and got back. What if you can spend $1.5 million and get the same audience and not greater? Because that's what VanEck just did with this ETF explosion. They ran marketing, they ran campaigns, they got the eyes of everyone, and they got their business rolling. Now they're like, oh, you got to get $1.5 million fine. What? That's less than what Kanye paid for the Super Bowl. That's a great deal. That is an amazing deal. Yeah, we're talking about VanEck's Bitcoin ETF. The regulator noticed an undisclosed detail. The influencer's fee was tied to the fund's growth, guaranteeing, which we say in this space we can't guarantee. They have arrested YouTubers for guaranteeing shit, but they got VanEck ETF guaranteeing higher compensation as the fund expanded. Super fucking illegal. Anyone else gets jail time along with the fine. Literally, we've seen it in this space. You know who else was doing this? This is why they tried to get John McAfee and some of the ICO folks for guaranteeing higher compensation as the token would increase in value. They are doing the exact same thing for the ETF. But again, this is VanEck. I got that number wrong. They're going to pay a $1.75 million fine to resolve U.S. Securities SEC charges linked to its 2021 launch of a social media focused exchange traded fund. Pardon me, that was a social media ETF back then. The SEC imposed a civil penalty on the investment advisor on February 16. The SEC revealed in a statement that during the VanEck social sentiment ETF launch in May 2021, VanEck did not fully disclose the participation of a prominent social media personality in marketing the product. And again, these are the same people who were and now are allowed to do the same thing with the Bitcoin ETFs. it's kind of crazy seeing this. But what are your thoughts on this? And how does this work? Do you just like, there's literally no jail time in these SEC fines anymore if you make a certain amount of money? How does that work?
Oh yeah, how you gonna throw your daddy in jail? That's basically what they VanEck is, the SEC's daddy. So is BlackRock. So how you gonna throw your daddy in jail? Because if we gotta go to jail, everybody, like, it's basically Nino Brown. It was like I'm I'm taking everybody with me. If I'm going down, everybody going down. It was a light skinned brother with the with the college degree.
Him right
He's the
there. You never
brains
liked
behind it
him
all.
anyway.
I ain't never like this. That's basically what VanEck would say if they ever tried to throw some people in jail. But first of all, $1.7 million fine. That's one night in Vegas for some VanEck execs. Like that's that's literally
That really is.
one less. That's just one less night. That's literally nothing to them. But the funny because this ETF, social sentiment ETF, it used positive insights from social media and other data sources, which is sort of useful. I mean, they have sentiment on CoinMarketCap. I've seen other accounts that have this sentiment as far as investing based on how people are talking about it. In fact, even I got Cliff High. He uses something similar. His crawlers basically use the entire web, whereas they would use more social media. And guess who the social media person they were using? Although the financial watchdog doesn't explicitly name the influencer, reports from 2021 have previously connected Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports founder, legendary lettuce hands who sold his Bitcoin too early because he got.
I was about to say he's a Bitcoin genius, right?
Yeah, exactly. The great Bitcoin genius, Dave Portnoy, sitting there crying because he said I shouldn't have sold it early and that it wasn't my fault. I was told that blah 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 whatever. And he was supposed to promote this VanEck ETF. The regulator noticed in undisclosed detail that his fee was tied to the fund's growth, which guaranteed higher compensation as the fund expanded. So, a few things to take away from this: Dave Portnoy is not getting in trouble. VanEck's only paying one night in Vegas worth of fees, and they're going to continue on as they go on. Now, what they didn't say is that the technology that they use to set up this ETF, that they're still using, they're still going to use that data in the practices that they use. So, for example, if you set up a social sentiment API with Twitter, with Instagram, with whatever, all you're doing is just scraping the words that people are saying and basically using or trading based off of that, right? You think they got rid of that technology? No, people. Just because they pay a fine, they still have that technology available to them. All they have to do is not set it up as an ETF and just use it in the back corridors and say, hey, we got a social sentiment saying that people are 89% positive. Let's go long, or the opposite. They can still use that data. So this is a big nothing burger in terms of quote unquote regulation, which is why me and King don't take regulators seriously. We don't hate them, we just don't take them seriously. And every time we've talked with regulators, they have the same Ned Flanders thought process about everything. Well, I need to regulate some more, and we need some more rules, and give me more power, and I can do my job. And it's like, your job sucks if you can't actually enforce anything. And for those of you who are in law enforcement, or like King in the military, there's no law or anything written on paper that matters unless you can enforce it. So they're basically useless.
That is
you
true.
can tell VanEck and BlackRock all day, hey, don't do this, but then they do it, and then you slap them with a fine. That, again, like I said, that's one night in Vegas. That's like a CEO and investors lunch in Maui or something like that. Like
Really
1.75 million. They ain't even looking at the check. They like, yeah, take that, get that out of here. We just made that last hour. So again, regulators, what's this, the 10 millionth time we've seen regulators get away with this? It's not new, but it is disheartening that people still look at these companies and still look at the SEC as the regulating body that you're supposed to listen
as
to.
a go ahead, right? It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
the
go ahead,
body.
but it's like, these are criminals. What are we talking about?
And the thing that's kind of crazy too, when you look at the SEC and how they're moving when it comes to whether it's VanEck or whatever else. I mean, again, this is more, to me, just a pay to play type of environment that's going on. Like, again, 1.75 million, you get how many eyes? To me, that's like a great deal at that part. So, I mean, I'm not mad. It's the way it's going to be. It looks like it's just hilarious to see them actually try to come into this market and say, at the same time, we're going to tell you what to do. And my last but not least, my thing is, I would be on board with regulation and crypto taxes in general if they were to introduce it the right way. And the right way is as simple as this. Hey, guys, we've noticed there's a lot of scams or hacks. We're going to develop this AI project or software or we're going to start monitoring these services and these sites to make sure this doesn't have, like, basically we're going to do X, Y, and Z to protect you. Here's how we're going to protect you. These are the people that are going to protect you. This is how much it's going to cost to pay those people. This is why the tax is here. It's like backward engineering. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. All right, well, that's fair then. We should be paying this 7% tax, because if everyone pays this 7% tax, we can afford these 10,000 people to nonstop slew the internet for scammers and bad addresses and make sure they shit. Like, all right, whatever. You got me on board with that program. But that's not what's happening. Instead, they're just saying it needs to be regulated, it needs to be taxed, and we're going to protect you. Well, how? By you giving us your money. You asking me questions right now? Like, what's going on? So it's just weird right now, to say the least.
Yeah, and I like PFC Wells' comment. Same thing with copyright protection. Yeah, you got it, but can you sick lawyers on the folks who violate it? And that's true, because when people asked me about the Bitcoin Academy, I was like, so you want me to sue 2 billionaires? All right, yeah, let's see how that goes. Like, we're gonna be in litigation for the next decade, and I don't have the money.
Listen,
like it just is what it is. Like, big fish eat little fish. Your job is just not to get caught. Don't get caught in the crosshair.
Same with local TX. I just saw this comment. This is how fines don't bother rich people: speeding tickets, late fees, anything that involves punishing someone with money doesn't hurt rich people. So I'm not rich, but I'm doing okay. And I can agree with this sentiment, because people, let me tell you, when I tell you things don't buy, I was telling my girl, I'm like, you get stopped by the cops, or if this happened, there's nothing to talk about. Tell them, hey, take me to jail or give me the ticket. We have lawyers. It's like, not afraid of court, not afraid of police. You have a lawyer. People, you all haven't had a good lawyer before yet. If you didn't had you a good, you see the way OJ been talking on the Cam and May show lately, how the jokes he been making,
Yeah.
OJ Simpson, the jokes he makes. People, if you get yourself a good enough lawyer, oh, you're gonna let them nuts hang. You're gonna start to realize, oh my God, all it takes is a little bit of that magic green, them greenbacks, a little bit, and everything goes away. People, yes, I agree with that, local TX. Listen, when I tell you most ordinary stuff does not bother me, oh my goodness, man. Yeah, if it's just a capital problem, then on average, it's not a problem. It's like, okay, well, that's taken care of. So I agree with you. A lot of that stuff don't bother these type of people.
I need to get me a YSL Nicole. Did you hear about that? The lawyer from YSL.
Yeah, I saw her dad was speaking up for her or something. Oh, that the lawyer. Oh, I give you the hoodie. I saw her with the hoodie on. I know that was lawyers.
Yeah, with the hoodie on. Yeah, you got to get your YSL Nicole, busting guns and getting rappers out of jail and shit, dapping up Pee Wee Longway. Hey, you see how Harlan? It's because when you got a good lawyer, you feel untouchable. You like, hey man, all we gotta do is pay the money. All right, come on, let's get it.
Yeah, pay here, sit down, and be cool. All right, Virginia. Speaking of money and governments, it's something we've echoed a long time ago, and it's kind of showing here. Virginia proposes $39,000 yearly fund for crypto and AI commission. So, good and bad of this story. Really quick, I'll just go to the bad so I can end on the good. The proposal allocates a yearly general fund of $22,048 and $17,192 respectively to the two newly formed commissions on artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency in the state of Virginia. I mean, this to me is almost like what? I'm calling police. I need help. It's 30 guys out here with guns. They're about to attack me. I help police. It's 30 people. I'm counting. I counted 29. No, it's 32 of them. And they send like one unit, overweight guy who's about to retire, not even with a gun, but with a flashlight, and say, clear it out, folks. Clear it out. Like, this is what that reminds me of. I applaud Virginia for taking, and that's going to be the good news part. So I won't go crazy on this part. I'm going to end on it. I applaud them for taking this step forward. But again, what have I told you all about government money? Like, this is why the corruption is rife in the United States. $5,000 can buy you a mayor in some cities. People not even being funny. Like, we have a news article about a state allocating $39,000 to crypto and AI. Like, this is, I could have got you. You could have just called King and be like, give us somebody in your phone book number so they can help allocate us some money. Like, we could have got you some more paper than that. Virginia, this is sad. Like, what is, are you going to hire like 3 college interns to do this work for you? Like, who is this paying? Now, don't get me wrong. I know 40K in Virginia can get you a decent sized dwelling. Okay. I didn't say a house. I want y'all Virginia people to get mad at me. It can get you a nice dwelling. All right. Shout out to Virginia Beach. I love you all in Hampton. You know what's up out there. Okay. But the Virginia Senate Committee has recommended yearly combined fund allocation of $39,240 for 2 newly formed commissions on AI and crypto. I'll let Zay go into details if you want. My whole thing was just that this isn't enough money to do any real digging or work, unless this is just the money for possibly a quarter, a month. But it looks like it's going to be for the entire year. Yeah. 17,192 for 25 and 26. So again, the bad news is that it's not enough money and resources in my point of view. The good news is, though, which I really want to highlight, the good and great news is this. It's finally spreading. People are taking it serious. And if a place and state like Virginia, you got to remember, you're looking at the South here. If Virginia is going to hop on board, you better believe they're going to be a test ground, which is probably why the capital amount is so low. But they will be a test ground for the rest of the South. Virginia looks at something when it comes to AI and crypto and it works and they like it. Other southern states won't be as scared to jump into it. And you better believe the growth in some of the southern states is a lot slower. Of course, I'm not talking about our hometown of Raleigh, RDU, and everything. We're not hometown, but college hometown or whatever. You got Research Triangle. They're doing a great job with technology, but most of the South is kind of slow on the tech side of the house. So to see Virginia actually lead the way forward in this, to me, is a very good thing. It's very positive. I'm very happy to see it, but it's also just like 39K. So it's like, whatever, but at least they got the ball moving. What about you? What you got going on in this story?
Yeah. Well, 39K, I think I spent more than that learning about Bitcoin and giving it away and, and losing it on dumb shit. I think I spent more than their entire budget. And they're doing it over the course of 2 years. So 2 years worth. I mean, what are they going to discover? That basically, I mean, what it seems like they're just going to find like somebody put a grad student, put them in a library or give them a laptop and say, hey, research everything you can about AI and crypto. And then send us what you got. Like, that's basically what they're going to do. They're going to get 2 interns to do it. Send us your reports and send us an invoice and we'll pay you the money. Because honestly, I just don't think that, as me and King have stated over the years, there is no bureaucratic way to get to a quick solution. Because you have to go through these steps in order. You have to pass the actual budget bill. Then you got to do the work. And then you got to get the bill passed. And then if they don't pass it, you got to go back and rework it and do it. So it always takes time. And if it's going to take this much time, what is 39,000? Like, I would rather them not study it at all, honestly. And then they say, hey, we're gonna outsource it to colleges, or we're gonna outsource it to companies to do it, and then we'll let them give us their report. Because honestly, they'll probably do a better job faster, and their budget. I mean, they might spend a little bit more money, but their budget will allow them to get it in faster. Because imagine if they say they told Coin Center, we want you to do a report on blockchain and crypto, and then they tell some small AI company, we want you to do AI. I mean, they could pay them that money today and then basically have the same results, and they probably have 2 weeks and they will have a full report for allocation and finance and all the things they need. Hell, me and King can knock that out in 1 weekend with 24 beers, man. We like that shit is not that hard.
And the shame part is I'm looking at it again. I am going to shout them out because at least they did it. It looks like they did it begrudgingly, though, honestly. When you look at the amounts right here for some of the budget items and what's been allocated, come on, Virginia. Mass transit study, $525,000. People, I'm sure you haven't been to Virginia, as many of you haven't. But Virginia and mass transit ain't gonna go together. All right, like knock it off.
No,
like y'all spent $500,000 on mass transit in the state of Virginia.
No.
People,
mass transit study.
Exactly. you can't mass transit through the forest, people. It's the woods. You can't mass transit through the woods.
How you gonna mass transit through them cotton fields? Them cotton fields in South Virginia. Ain't no transit through there. They can get out of there. It's still cotton fields in South Virginia.
People, Virginia, literally between Virginia, Virginia got an area. DMV, I forgot the exact road or whatever. People, there's literally a speed trap that goes through there that has been known about for like the last 15 to 20 years. Like it goes through the woods or whatever. But there is no master. All right, let's just stop this whole.
We get this mass transit study. We'll always study some shit that actually matters.
So so they stole $500,000 doing that. You see why the next year is 25,000 people. Come on, you're not getting that lick off twice. That's a one-time lick. All right, so that was ridiculous. It should be 25,000 yearly, but whatever. Senate operations. What the
hold on.
Senate operations?
Hold on, look at this, King, because I noticed it, but I didn't really stare at it. These niggas really stole $500,000 because it's really what I'm telling you. The mass transit study is $25,000, but they just gave themselves 500. They're like, yeah, next year we're gonna study it a lot, but in 2026 we ain't gonna need to study. Bro, this is egregious. People look at these income statements from these governments, dog. They are stealing so much money.
Listen. Now to be fair, folks, we're keeping it light. Okay, we haven't done a deep dive, so I don't want nobody. Hey, you guys didn't know that the 250K is supposed to go to the rebuilding of the one bus system. All right,
we don't care. We don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to be nice about it. Exactly. Listen, it's Virginia. I literally don't have to do research to know that next year 25K is what it's supposed to be. It's for people. Listen, go to Virginia. All right, y'all go to Virginia and come back on the show and be like, y'all right. All right, it ain't no mass transit happening. But Senate operations, like Sergeant Crypto said, they got to lick off twice for sure. What is $600,000 in 2 years? Do y'all understand the Senate already get paid? What are we doing? But whatever. This is what I'm looking at. The Virginia Autism Advisory Council. To me, this is more realistic because something like autism, while it's important to study and be on top of, it is niche as far as it doesn't affect the mass population. It affects a small percentage of the population. So, of course, you would expect things like that to get smaller amounts of budget allocations, whatever. But to see that literally AI and blockchain is just a hair above autism, I mean, it's very telling from the government. That is literally them saying, hey, we're pretending to care. We're throwing some money toward it, but not really. Whatever. Cool. Glad to see. Again, I'll end it on the positive. I'll say I'm happy to see Virginia at least is taking that step forward because other states will follow if it works out for them.
So what are they going to do? What is Virginia going to do when they realize most of the people that's in crypto are autistic? They just put that budget together and then
very true.
Now we got 49,000. Hey, we getting it up there.
All right. GoFundMe shuts down Tornado Cash legal defense crowdfunding. I mean, listen, this is why we have crypto. Again, to I can't remember his name, Cody, possibly, for the guy last week from Hex who called in. Again, disagree, but shout out for them actually standing on their own 10 and calling in. You remember his whole thing was like, hell, I'm here for money. Most of the people are here for money, and I agree with that sentiment, but I kept saying, hey, I'm here for technology first. A lot of people are here for the tech. This is the part of the technology. Again, Americans, for the most part, first world countries, we're very lucky to not have to go through not being able to have our capital available to us. But if you ever have, you understand how important this tech is. And for me, again, people, when I got into Bitcoin in 2016, I was deployed. I was still bouncing around in different countries, and my debit card would stop working in a different country. My credit cards would have issues in other countries. I've been to another country where I did not have access to money, people, for real. Like, shit is happening. I don't have access to my money because I didn't tell my bank I was traveling this weekend or something. Like, that is a very scary feeling. So to be able to have Bitcoin at your fingertips or whatever other crypto at your fingertips to say, nope, I can have this, I can still make money, that's very important. All right. That is, like, to me, one of the most important things in this entire space right now. So to see the likes of GoFundMe say, oh, we disagree with what you're doing, or maybe we don't even disagree with you, but the government disagrees with you, so we can't go along with what you want. We're not going to fund you. We're not going to allow you to have capital. Banks aren't allowing you to have capital. Like, that's fucking wrong. And it's a slippery slope. And yeah, I can't wait. I won't say I can't wait. Hopefully it never happens. But the day does come where we do get some type of mini dictator here in office, which some of you say we almost had. And they say, hey, if you don't vote for me next year, you're not allowed to use your dollars anymore. Don't get to crying then. I don't want people then to be like, oh, maybe we need the new president who had a insurrection at the Capitol said that if we don't vote for him, we can't use our dollars. Now we need to find another capital to use. Don't then say maybe we should look at Bitcoin. Fuck no. Let's stay with them dollars and not be allowed to use them. But again, this is the story. Crowdfunding for the Tornado Cash legal battle was canceled by GoFundMe. We saw them do it to the truckers as well up in Canada, citing a breach of terms of service. All contributions made to the fundraiser were returned to respective donors. What are your thoughts on this, Bitcoin? Zay? Tornado Cash can't catch a break. All they did was develop software.
Yeah. Well, all they're doing every time they shut it down is they're proving that it's actually effective. That's really, they're just giving the Streisand effect, basically. They're basically saying, well, Tornado Cash works so well, we can't use it because it'll actually do what it says it does, which is make your transactions private. Same thing with Monero. Monero will never be added because it actually works. So they canceled the fundraiser dedicated to collecting legal fees for the co-founder of Tornado Cash, Roman Storm, and its developer. But again, whenever they shut something down, that's just a rule of thumb. As with everything, if they shut it down, that means it's working properly. If it wasn't working properly, and they had some sort of backdoor, or if they didn't want this guy to go to prison, then they would allow it to happen. So they won't let him raise funds. This is why Bitcoin was created, because the same thing happened with Edward Snowden and with Julian Assange. For those of you who don't remember, they were basically using Bitcoin to survive as well. And of course, whenever you cut off some of these onboarding platforms, GoFundMe, some of the other big ones, all people do is build better ones. Like now we got Geyser, now we got Gibson Go, we got other platforms that use crypto. So all people do is just build solutions. So whatever. GoFundMe's time is almost up anyway.
Man, y'all are hilarious. Jake Fever said, "When I get rich, I will be all about the tech." Listen,
that's
like I said,
rich people was like, "Oh, you just need rest, and you need to meditate, and everything will work itself out." And it's like, "Motherfucker, I've been working for 12 hours a day,
6 kids.
years. Yeah, meditate.
Yeah, just meditate together as a family. Then your stomachs will be full once you wake up from it." Listen, here's the people. I'm being dead serious. I get it. I got into it backwards. I literally got into crypto backwards. You have to remember when I partnered with Zay, Bitcoin was $330. It wasn't no get rich in crypto yet. That was not the reason why people came in. It wasn't.
Yeah, not at all.
Like, you remember that? Like literally, that wasn't the. Yeah. Listen, put it like this: if the way that majority of you are in this space right now, that was really the overall vibe and theme, I would be up hundreds of millions of dollars right now, people. Okay. Like Zay would tell you, I didn't put enough into crypto. He was just like, I'm just trying to tell you, bro. Our thoughts, our conversations were one day. We knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen from one day. It wasn't one day in the next 6 months or 4 months or 8 months when it popped in 2017. It wasn't one day in the next year. It was one day in the next 3 to 5 years we're looking at, 5 to 8 years. So like literally, I'm not shitting you all. When I got into the space, it really was about the technology. Okay. Like it was going from $330 to $325 to $340. Like no one was thinking, oh my God, go crazy, we're gonna make all the money. Like that didn't happen until 2017 with the ICO craze, is when you money grubbing mofos came in here acting stupid. But that wasn't the reason how I came in. I literally didn't come in because it was a money making thing. It was a technology based thing that made sense for the future. So yeah, I'm still stuck in that space. I get it. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, you gotta think Silk Road, people weren't using it because the price number go up. They were using it because they wanted to buy drugs what they thought was privately.
I need to buy that automatic weapon on low, baby.
Yeah, like as I'm saying, people weren't using it because the number go up. Not really. I mean, it was for a second, but it was a huge bear market from like 2014 and 2017. People don't remember, but at 3 years, that was most of the time people were just learning. And the number go up aspect of it was like, yeah, we know it's gonna happen because we understand economics 101. But that's not the 100% reason we're here. Now, of course, people are here and they're like, "Oh, I'm in it for the money," and that's it. I'm like,
right. That's the difference. It's not now. It's 100%. I'm in it for the money. It's like, bro, I didn't come in I didn't even come in 50% about the money. And you tell me you're 100 about money. Like that's why I say sometimes the conversations on this channel just won't be for everyone. Like clearly the volume says it as well, but it's just like. I'll start changing. We'll get back to best altcoins we'll buy. We'll get it out. We'll get best altcoins we'll buy back.
Yeah, not a BitBoys out the picture. He's
we'll get that back. We'll get best altcoins we buy back. Jake said, my question is how, and low key, oh man, I gotta update the Discord because I got a few more for you all too. That's just hit across the radar. I've been researching. Jake said, my question is how do they know Tornado Cash and Monero works if they don't understand crypto? They only know it works because the people who have used it for the nefarious purposes, that's where they're reaching their dead end as what I'm thinking. And like, it's almost like, how do we keep getting to the dead end here? And it's like, it's their fault. Arrest his ass. Like, I
don't. He built this technology. Forget his freedom of speech. Forget his software. Arrest them all. Man. I mean, first one through the door always gets shot.
And that definitely happened this time. All right. Coinbase drops native Bitcoin payments for merchants platform. Coinbase Commerce will discontinue support for Bitcoin and similar UTXO coins. To use Bitcoin for payments, shoppers will need a Coinbase account. Gotcha, bitch. Could have told you saw this coming. Not just when it comes to me with Bitcoin payments. This is business 101. And this is why we were so anti Coinbase. It's like, we see what y'all doing, and it's not slick. Not mad at you from a business point of view, but from a crypto Bitcoin specific enthusiast point of view, which Brian Armstrong originally was, so he stated, it's kind of disheartening because it's like, come on, man, everything you're doing is once again about the money instead of the actual technology in the space. But I'm happy to actually see this happen. Why? Because hopefully it will drive away more people away from Coinbase and using that merchant platform versus some of the other DEXs or even other centralized ones that are a little bit more friendly to the entire community. But again, Coinbase has removed support for native Bitcoin and other UTXO coins from its payment platform for merchants, according to the company's head of product. In the February 18th thread on X, Dowling said the company made the difficult decision to remove native Bitcoin and other UTXO support from Coinbase Commerce, citing difficulties in delivering recent updates on its EVM payment protocol for Bitcoin. The new commerce product enforces the details of each payment on chain, supports hundreds, blah, 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 blah. Here's it is, people. It don't do nothing. What it does is another way for them to make more capital, to push the stock price, because they have investors on Wall Street they have to report to. Now, that's basically what it is, because you're not going to give me, and this I already know they BS it. They're about to start giving me buzzword soup here in this quote. But right before, you're telling me that you're still offering it to your actual people who are signed up on your account, on your Coinbase account. It works. But if you don't have that account, it doesn't work. Okay, for someone who understands how technology works, knock it off. It does not work. You logged in with Google? Only works if you log in with Apple. Yeah. Really? That's what we're doing here at Coinbase. Just listen. I'm tired of the lies. Everything, just say, look, we found a new way to push the stock price up. All right, we got to make up for this money we lost, and we may never get back. And here's a way to do it. All right, fuck it. If you're not an account holder, you don't get to use it with these transactions. Just say that. I don't know. Am I wrong here, Zay? What are your thoughts?
Well, no, you're right. But basically the same thing that most people in Bitcoin have been yelling since 2017 is, where is Bitcoin Lightning payments? Coinbase still has not integrated Bitcoin Lightning because, like you stated, they have investors. They need to bring in more user base. They want to bring in more merchants.
And price got to stay up.
Price got to stay up. And if you introduce Lightning payments, so people can move money at the speed of light, basically, the fees they're getting are going to be way less. So they don't benefit from that, which that goes back to me and King, like we stated. Are you in it for the tech, or are you in it to get rich? If they were in it for the tech, they had Lightning 7 years ago. If they were in it for the tech, like they showed you, they said we did an EV, so they can update. They know how to. Their engineers aren't stupid. They know they can do it. But every time somebody brings up Lightning, this is what Armstrong says. Hold on, here it goes right here. Hopefully, there are opportunities to make commerce payments with Lightning. And the Lightning network is a payment protocol designed to facilitate transactions. And they've been Bitcoin transactions have been run on the protocol since 2017. So, like I stated, they were the actual statement they put out on Twitter was, that Bitcoin doesn't have stable coins and other tokens that they can use, so it's hard, blah blah blah. And it's like, no, we've had Lightning Network for 7 years. You won't implement it because you are definitely lying at this point after 7 years. Like, if your exchange doesn't have Lightning, at this point, everybody should question you. And honestly, even Cash App has Lightning. They don't even have to necessarily
shout out to Cash App.
Lightning or Cash App. Like, no, put it on Coinbase so people can make transactions. What they're waiting for is to make enough money to introduce Lightning where it won't hurt their bottom line. That's what they're waiting for. It's like, this isn't a big tricky thing. It's like, well, we can't implement it now because we're not gonna make enough money from investors. But if they were in it for the tech, they would have been had it. But they're in it to get rich, and that's what they do.
Shout out to Local TX. He says, not either or. I'm in the tech. I'm in it for the tech, and I hope I get rich. Shout out to that. That's what I'm talking about. That's how Microsoft and Google work. All right, that's true. Low stock price investment is the risk. So later on, you're rewarded. Same applies to Bitcoin. The only thing I would change with Microsoft and Google, not even them. Honestly, every company prior to, I would say, about 2012, 2013, really were the defining years. But I was even just make it clear, everybody before 2010. I would even go as far as to say early YouTube. Early YouTube was not about money. Early YouTube was about tech. Y'all get to have videos online. Like,
It was about conspiracy theories, baby. It was about watching. It was about watching Zeitgeist and the Four Horsemen, and figuring out that he's drinking baby blood and reptilians and aliens.
But
seriously, YouTube 06, 08 was.
Come on,
oh man, that was
come on. You want me to tell you how I know YouTube? Even the content creators, the content creators weren't about money. Here are the original YouTube content creators. Bitch, I want some waffle fries.
Exactly.
Take it back. If you remember about the waffle fries.
If you ain't no brothers, you better not have no brothers.
So then I told him I like your sister. So anyway, here's the deal, people. This all just so my whole thing, this whole culture of just being stupid money hungry, to me, honestly, didn't start to 2013, 2014 is when it began. And right now we are in a vicious cycle. I said this about LA recently. I said the problem right now with LA is that everyone thinks they should be a millionaire of what they do. I went to like the pier the other day, Long Beach. Not even a fucking popular pier. It's not even a pier there, matter of fact. It's just like a boardwalk. They're charging $17 for a funnel cake, bro. Ice cream costs one scoop of ice cream, $7.
What?
Syrup. A quick 2-second 1, 2. What, $2.19 for syrup? I'm like, yeah, so everyone is trying to become apartments. Apartments cost $3,000, $2,500, $2,800 for one bedroom. It's like everyone's trying to become a multi-millionaire of what they do. It doesn't matter what they do. They could be selling stickers on the sidewalk. Hey, $13 for stickers. It's like everyone's not going to be a millionaire. What the hell is going on with people right now? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Or everyone is going to be a millionaire, and then milk will cost $1,500 for a gallon of milk. Like, do y'all not understand how the economy works? So I'm seeing it. Yeah. My whole point with all this rant right now is like, we're seeing this flow over into crypto in this space as well. It was not like this to begin with. It is becoming like this because this is now the new culture of things where everyone's throwing out morals in favor for cash. I guess, okay, you all will be coming to me one day for therapy, so I really don't care. All right, last but not least, Celsius distributes $2 billion of crypto to 172,000. I said $1,000. It's time to get off. 172,000 creditors. Bitcoin's what's going on with this? Will these people actually keep their money in Bitcoin? Or are they going to drain the market? What's going to happen with this once it actually goes down?
Oh yeah, so they've actually distributed to PayPal and Coinbase. The sell button is getting smashed right now. Then sell. Then people are
it's gray. Is it gray?
Right, yeah, it's gray right now. Yeah, you probably can't even get your liquidity out of there right now. I'm sure there's some sort of holding period, or if they send it there, if you haven't already done KYC. So, but other than that, everybody's sell. So I wouldn't be surprised to drop a sharp decline, really, just because you're gonna put a bunch of coins back on the market that have been chilling for like the last 2 years. This has been going on, 3 years almost. So. Yeah, it's just a natural order of things, but they're gonna get bought up by BlackRock and bought up by other ETFs. So it is what it is, but glad they handled that situation. Somebody said there's a 5K weekly limit. What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, you can't.
That's
really
that bullshit. That's what honestly, right now it might work better. It may work better because again, with the halving coming, we're thinking supply and demand, price goes up. So honestly, it's probably gonna work out for those people with that low cap limit. But again, this is what we're talking about. Like, it only works that way one way. Could you imagine if you had PayPal's money or the government's money? You was like, no, I'm gonna give you I'll give you $250 a month, bro. You be all right. Like, would they accept that? Would they accept that from you, or would they be like, oh, hell to the no? We about to tax you more percentages, APR. Like, no, they're not gonna. But on the flip side, they're like, yeah, but we can do that to you. You can just take 5K out. It's like, okay, I'll take 5K out a day at 30% on my overall account per day.
Yeah,
like how does that work? You just like, I don't know. You just it's weird. It's weird. Other than that, that's for the most part the show for today. You got anything, Bitcoin Zay?
Nothing for me. Shout out to everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. We will see you all Wednesday. I will be back in the Discord this week. Seriously, I got some more DGen tokens that you may be in. I'm definitely jumping in on a couple of them. I was telling Zay before the show because I need to make me some more Bitcoin. The only way to do that now is through the DGen route, as Jake Fever eloquently pointed out some weeks ago. So let's get on getting. All right, put on your sweatsuits, get ready to get dirty, and we're about to dig in deep this week. Cheers. See you all.